Dive into Jessie's treasure trove, where every piece speaks mysteries. Jessie's oddities beckon. Get yours today.
Hey guys, it's Jessie V, and in today's video we are continuing our nail polish color series covering pink today. I know a lot of people love pink. I don't love the color, but I can see why people do. It's so funny because I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder right now and I'm literally wearing a Nightmare on Elm Street top with this like colorful strawberry background behind me. I'm crazy and there's nothing I can do about it. I really wanted to wear this top today and did not realize that this would be a lot. You know, it's a contrast. But that means that I will be announcing the winner of last month's backdrop. The contest was over on Instagram and the winner is Sasho08, so congratulations and thank you to anyone who entered. And if you'd like to win this new backdrop, it's so fun. It's so spring and summer. I love it. All you have to do is head over to my podcast channel, which is the Peculiar Place Podcast, subscribe, and comment the strawberry emoji on one of our recent podcasts. That actually reminds me that I kind of want to apologize to you guys that I haven't really been super present on this channel over the past year. I really try to make new content whenever I can. The reason why I've been posting so many compilation videos is because this last year I've been really sick, and it's not something that I want to like jump on here and like talk about all the time. So it looks like I'm okay, but behind the scenes I've been very ill, and so the compilation videos actually really help me, and I'm so glad that you guys love them because I do love to make them, and it kind of gives me some time in between when I'm actually on the channel to like recover a bit more. If you want to hear more about what's been going on in my life, my podcast channel is actually a really great place to go because I'm really open and honest. It's a lot of personal lifestyle stuff over on that channel. I also want to remind you guys, preferably 16 plus. If you're younger than 16, I don't know if it's really meant for you. Ask your parents. We do talk about like super personal, more adult, mature subject matter. But if anyone's interested in heading over there, I will put our podcast channel down below. One other thing is that we have just added the coolest bath bombs onto our website, and they're all themed like some of my favorite movies and just like different fun things that I know we all love. For example, we have a Barbie bath bomb. This is pink with silver glitter, which is so cool. We have the Burn book from Mean Girls. Like, are you kidding me? I would have loved this as a kid, loving those movies. And this is also pink and silver glitter. I feel like I did not intend to have pink stuff in a pink nail polish video, but here we are. We've also got gummy bears to sort of represent the nostalgia series that I make. We've got a Wonka bar, and I love this because it's rainbow, so your entire bath goes rainbow. I almost feel like I should like show you guys us dropping these into the bath, maybe on the vlog channel, but it's magical, just like Willy Wonka. And then to kind of represent the Yana groups that we have this Be Kind one. This is also cool because it is rainbow as well. So if you guys would like any of our new bath bombs, they are limited edition, so once they're gone, they're gone. I'm gonna link them down below, but they are just so cool and they smell amazing. Like my entire studio right now smells like just like fruity and fresh and amazing. Okay, so let's briefly talk about the color pink. Certain colors of pink are shown to reduce aggression. So the color has been famously used in prison cells to limit aggression in inmates. And while they were studying this sort of phenomenon, they had people sit down and stare at a wall of pink, so like a big square of pink with their arms out in front of them like this. And then someone would come up and try to push their arms down as hard as they could. Apparently this was easy to do while these people were staring at the pink wall. But if they looked at blue, their arms weren't able to be pushed down and they had full strength. I feel like I need to try this on Ty, maybe also on the vlog channel because he's really strong. And I feel like if I show him pink, like he would still be able to keep his arms up. Maybe I won't tell him like what the experiment really is, and we'll see if it works or not. Because he's a strong guy. Is pink gonna weaken him? In the 1980s, the University of Iowa's football team painted the opposing team's locker room pink. They even added pink urinals, and they believed it would make the other team less aggressive so they'd be able to like beat them during the game, which is crazy. And we always think that pink is a color for girls, but before World War II, mothers commonly dressed their sons in pink and their daughters in blue. So it didn't really become like a gender thing until after World War II, which I've never understood. It's so strange how a color is like meant for certain people. What? Okay, so this creepypasta is called Faces on the Floorboards. This story takes place at an old folks' home in Pennsylvania. An old lady known as Mrs. Thompson had first arrived at this facility 10 years prior to the incident I'm about to tell you. Ever since she arrived at this place, she has been utterly silent. She would never speak or whisper or make any noises at all, and the family who brought her to this facility said that she had always been that way since she was a little girl. It just seemed like one day she went quiet, and it was bizarre to the family because before that she had loved to sing and perform, and she was super talkative and outgoing. They said she was always the loudest one in the room, but then one day she just abruptly went silent. They couldn't think of anything significant that happened to her. She had no sickness, no crazy event. She just was quiet all of a sudden. And all of her family missed her sweet little voice. Now she was 87 and in this old folks' home getting care from all the staff. And even though she was so quiet, she was still very sweet and never caused them any issues. Days were spent reading to her, or she would take strolls outside through the gardens. And her favorite color was bubblegum pink, so she'd always be wearing that color sweater or dress or lipstick, and she'd always have her nails painted pink. And her hands were a little shaky, so sometimes staff would put the nail polish color on for her, which is so sweet. But one night, something very out of character happened. It was long past everyone's bedtime, and one of the nurses were walking down the hallway when they saw a light coming from underneath Mrs. Thompson's door. She walked in and saw Mrs. Thompson hunched over on the floor, and her right arm was moving very rapidly, but her back was towards the door, so the nurse had no idea what she was doing. The nurse crept closer and saw the pink nail polish bottle open beside her, and the old woman was drawing on the floorboards with the nail polish. She was drawing these symbols and grisly looking faces, and the whole room smelled like chemicals from the nail polish. She tried to get Mrs. Thompson to go to bed, but she was oddly aggressive, which she had never been before. She did not want to stop painting with this nail polish cap. And among the symbols she were drawing were these long lines that resembled trees, like she was drawing an entire forest. And then she began to paint this tall, hooded figure that was looming over a small, cowering form. And the nurse's blood began to chill when she started to hear Mrs. Thompson whispering. She leaned over to hear better and saw that her mouth was moving so quickly, and it was only the smallest level above silent, so she could barely hear it.
Something terrible, I saw something terrible.
She was saying that over and over and over again. Ew, but I guess she was whispering it.
Something terrible, I saw something terrible.
And it was such a strange thing to see, just the entire room covered in pink, but the images were so disturbing. It was this weird contrast, kind of like me in my backdrop right now. And it took a whole group of nurses to get her up off the floor and back into bed. The next day they called her siblings, telling them of everything she drew, the forest, the figure hovering over what looked like to be a small child, and the siblings immediately thought of a crime that had been committed all the way back in the 1940s. A small child had been found deceased in the forest.
Old Spice Gentleman Super Hydration Body Wash. Vanilla and shea. 24.
Near where they lived, and all around them were burnt out candles and strange items like black cloaks that led police to believe it was some sort of witchcraft. And Mrs. Thompson's siblings suddenly remembered, it just clicked in their brain that that was the same day she had stopped speaking. They remember her going out for her usual walk, and she came back to the house shaking and wouldn't tell anyone what happened. That night, one of the nurses went back to her room and found her in bed clutching the bottle of pink nail polish. Her mouth was rapidly moving again, and when the nurse leaned down to hear what she was saying, she was absolutely just so disturbed.
They told me not to tell. They told me not to speak. They told me not to tell. They told me not to speak, or they would come for me next.
And that's how this story ended. So it makes me think that when she had gone out for her little daily walk, she walked through the forest because it was near her house, and she probably witnessed that crime that occurred at such a young age, and the creepy people in cloaks who did it told her, like, if you say anything, we're coming for you next, so never speak. And she literally never spoke again until this point. I guess she reached an age where she was like, I can't keep this inside any longer, it needs to come out, using my pink nail polish for some reason. Anyways, look guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want me to continue doing this series, there are a lot of colors we can cover, kind of just like the crayons. There are many colors. Give this video a thumbs up and let me know if you want me to do that, and maybe comment the color you want me to do next. Let me know. But yeah, if you would like any of our new bath bombs, I have linked it down below, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!